folks. It's actually afternoon and it's hot, really hot, 100 degrees or so. So Cindy wants to go for a ride, and I thought that's a great idea. So we're going to go up, and that one trail camera I got, I think the batteries are probably dead. I don't think there'll be any pictures on it, but I'm going to go swap them out. It don't do you no good to have it up there if the batteries aren't working. So, go for a ride. Well, we didn't get very far. Just barely made it into the trees, and the truck's getting hot. Usually this thing runs pretty cool. Not today. It's awful hot outside, but I don't know what's going on. I wonder if my thermostat's stuck or something, but turn around and go back home, I guess. Dang it. Really smoky today. There's no forest fires close by here. There's one down by Stanley, and several in Oregon, I guess. But we're sure getting a lot of smoke. Here sometime pretty soon, I need to dig this snowmobile out and see if it's going to run. With the wolf season starting in December, I'm probably going to need that thing. But anyhow, good morning. The other day, Cindy and me went up to the top of the mountain here to go for a drive, and the truck overheated really bad. It was way low on water. I don't know why. Kind of hoping it was just a little bit low and then the rest boiled out, but I really don't know. Anyway, I got a new thermostat. And thermostats are easy to change. There's just 2 bolts. But look what they did here. Why do they do this? This is the top hose. The thermostat should be at the other end of this hose, which is way down in there. I mean, why make that hard? That's such a simple thing, and it doesn't need to be that hard. A thermostat is a real simple fix. There's just 2 bolts, a little gasket, then you put in this little flying saucer looking thing. When the temperature gets hot enough, that spring softens and lets the water by. But what happens when you can't get the bolts out? This has I've got down to them here. Let's see, it's hard to climb up here, but I've got down to them. They're down in that hole. Way down in there. There are 2 bolts, one on either side of that hose. But it's an aluminum head with steel bolts, and what happens is they corrode and they get osmosis, they call it, and they kind of almost weld themselves in. They feel like they're going to snap off. If I twist them too hard, they might break off, and then I am in trouble. I won't be able to get them out of the block without a whole lot of problem. And a 5-minute job will turn into probably a 5-hour job, or maybe a couple of day job. So not very long ago, when Idaho Hillbillies videos, he had an overheating problem, and somebody wrote in there, well, just take the thermostat out, that's easy. On the old trucks it was easy. They sat right on top. You could do it in 5 minutes. The newer ones, and this one's a 2001, so it's really not a very new truck. It ain't easy no more. And like I said, if you snap that bolt off, you're really kind of screwed. You can't run your truck. It'll pump all the water right out onto the ground. So that's not something you do in the woods anymore. Used to be, you could. I really miss the old 70s and before pickup trucks. They were a lot easier to work on. So I've got several different types of penetrating oil. I squirted on those bolts, and I'll let them sit a little while, and hopefully I can get them out. If not, I'm not going to be able to change that thermostat. I'm not going to take the chance of breaking that off. Brake parts cleaner. I don't have any carb cleaner. There's a little bit of dust It somehow got around that air filter. I don't like that. I'll have to clean that out of there. Looks like probably what happened is that little rubber seal wasn't on quite right. Dust and dirt will take out your engine faster than anything else. So 20 minutes worth of soaking there, and it feels like they're going to come out. That one's pretty loose. Getting these back in might be fun. They're back down in there where you can't really see where you're at. You can kind of see it, but lining it all up straight and stuff, it can be kind of a problem. Yeah, that one feels like it's probably out. Yeah, there goes my water. I should have probably put a bucket under there. I'll have to run the hose and make sure it all goes away so the dogs and things don't get after it. Ah, man. Oh! I don't know why this engine is back in here so far. This fan shroud is a foot long, maybe more than a foot long. The engine doesn't need to be back that far. There's a lot of wasted space here. Then it's up underneath the dash where it's really hard to get to anything. Like I said, I miss the old 70s pickups. You could climb in there and close the hood if you needed to work on it in the rain. These things, this one's better than the newer ones, but some of those you can't even put a pocket knife in between anything. This one, at least I can kind of get to most of it. Alright. Yeah, that one's still a little loose or tight. Yeah, I'm losing a little more water than I'd hoped, but I guess that's the way that goes. Oh, come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The shape of the flange. There it goes. I say the shape of the flange isn't letting it go past the I guess would be the air clean or what do you call it, air conditioner deal. All right, so and there's the old one. Oops. There went the old one. Put the new one in, button it back up, and this job will be done. There we go. Finally got it back together. I don't see water squirting out anywhere, so I think I'm alright. While I was at it, I went ahead and added a little saw in here. It won't be good for a whole lot, but it'll be good for emergency stuff if there's a tree in the road or something, as long as it's not a real big one. There's plenty of room up under here to put like a jug of antifreeze or a gallon of oil, something like that. I want to make a kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, a pocket, I guess, and bolt it on up in here so it's not rubbing on the radiator, and put one there and probably one on this side too. This side's not quite as much room, but it would work for a quart of oil or something like that. Like I say, there's an awful lot of space in this truck that really doesn't need to be. The radiator, you got a transmission cooler in the front, then your radiator for the engine, Then you got all this space till you get to the fan. A lot of room there that's kind of wasted, but you can't really do much there because of the airflow. Down in here, there's lots of room here. This would be a good spot for an ammo can or something like that with a few tools in it. Anyway, I like Swiss Army knife type things that serve more than one function. If I can rig this thing up so it's a little more practical, so much the better.